All right. See if we have any questions. Doug, see, you got a few questions in here. Spy, $150.50 on 4 contracts. Beautiful job, Rex. Very nice. Joseph, you think ESLT is a drone stock? Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Um, Geo to the upside, breakout, a sideways compression. Look at that. Yeah, choppy stock, and it is trying to break out. It's pulled back a little bit this morning, but it's an interesting setup. I think we talked about this one yesterday, Joseph. Sergio, would I sell Delta Airlines now? I don't know. I got a sell order at break even, so I'm going to wait to see what it does. Doug, seems that after you put the entry in, let's see. If the bar had closed above the V, that he would have taken a huge loss. I can't remember exactly where I get in. It was somewhere in here. The loss would have been 50 cents if it got above. It depends on where I took it. I don't. I'd have to go back and look exactly, Doug. But I like the breakdown below the VWAP, so anywhere in here was fine with me. And you're not taking any big losses here at this point. Yeah, if it burned above the VWAP, it's possible that I could have lost 50 cents on it, of course. Yeah, but 50 cents, that's not a huge loss. It's a loss, but it's not a huge loss. And the setup looked pretty nice here. It came up, it went blue to green. The oscillator looked pretty good, and then it pulled down pretty hard. So I was pretty comfortable with the oscillator moving down at this particular angle, coming down. So I took it. Nothing's going to be perfect on these things. It's a risk reward. It's all calculated here. Do I trade SPY on Tradier? I do. Yeah, I do, Pat. I trade the SPY on Tradier. I do all my trading off of Tradier. You sold the 588 puts when they were. I sold the 588 puts when they were 609. Okay. Very good. Nice job. Thong, that's an interesting question. When I take the SPY super system trade, do I wait for the M5 minute candle to finish before taking the trade? And sometimes I do, but it depends. Like on this one here, I took it here, and I don't know if I was in this candle or this candle. I'd have to check and see, but basically, as soon as that was sloping down, I took it. So I wouldn't be necessarily waiting for this candle to close here. Um, and it can be a little bit tricky, because if you get in before it closes and it continues down, you make more money than if you waited for it to confirm. That's basically what's called a confirmation trade versus an anticipation trade. If you break it down here and you take it here, you're right in close to it, and you're anticipating the candle's going to continue, which it did in this case, but it could have reversed. If you wait for confirmation, you might be waiting for here, and if you do that, then you kind of just might have moving sideways. So typically with this, I've been not waiting for confirmation because the moves have been so quick, and it's also an issue on when you're trying to get out. If the stock moves down, do you wait for it to close? If it's a big red candle, it can give you a pretty big flush down. You can be out a lot if you're waiting for like a big long candle to close. So it's managing these trades. You have to do that yourself, and it's really hard to call out that kind of information because it really depends on the market. The candles have been pretty small, so I wasn't worried about a big huge flush, but you could get a big flush, which you don't care if you're short, but if you're long, if it bounces back up hard, then you wouldn't want to be in it. We haven't had any really big bounces here today, so I wasn't too concerned about a big move up. Again, it's all depending on the context of the market. You have to look at the context of the market and base your trades based on that. This one here, I get out, the candles were getting pretty small. I just took profits on the thing. We're getting a little bit of a bounce here. Maybe it'll set up for short again. Don't know. Roger. Take a look at PM. Philip Morris. Yep. Short. Nice short. 119.06 is the resistance level, support level it just went through. 119.06. You want to see it stay below 119.06 on PM. Good short though. Again, that STZ was a beautiful short today. Again, Ari called that out earlier. I took 190 puts on it when it was trading at about 193, and they were about 38 cents. I got out a bunch of them at 80, a bunch of them at $1.10, and a bunch of them at $1.20. I think something like that. But anyway, it was a big profit. It's called a lotto trade. You can't put a lot into those. Can't put a lot of risk on those kind of trades. Right, it's about 11:20 here right now. YouTube has joined us, so good morning everybody at YouTube. Been a fairly bearish day in the market. Market down quite a lot. Jobs report was good job numbers, too good. Inflation is getting they're concerned about inflation. Fed's not going to cut this month. Bank of America doesn't think they're going to cut any more this year. They're leaning toward possibly raising rates if the inflation rate stays like it is. So we'll see. Again, the SPY had a nice move down here this morning on a gap down, and then drifted down pretty nicely all morning. Tried to make a recovery here to get above the VWAP. We went green on the oscillator right here, but never really got above it with any kind of conviction. And now we're drifting down, and I'm just kind of chopping around. So I'm just watching right now. I've had 2 SPY super system trades. One profit of $42 a contract, another profit of I think $30 a contract. I have to go back and look, but I'm up about $75, $80 a contract on the 2 SPY super system trades I've taken, and I'm looking for some more. I'm really not interested in taking on too many swing trades right now, with the market sitting down here below the 100-day moving average or right around the 100, because I don't know which way the market's going to go. If you look at the SPY here on the daily chart, this is the SPY daily. So this is where you're trying to decide whether you want to take swing trades or not. Well, this is pretty ugly, right? This is a pretty ugly pattern right here. For this big pull down, nice bounce. All right, this was the Fed. Nice bounce, but never really get back up here to the highs, and it's been doing a lot of this. And this is a very difficult trading action for swing trades. You really don't want to be in a lot of swing trades right now. See the 100-day right there? Is that going to hold? We don't know. We need to have confirmation that that's going to hold before we even consider taking any more longs. And if it breaks down, then you can start looking at taking some swing shorts. But again, this line right here was important. This was the gap up off the election right here. You notice how that line right there, how that held for so long. Pulled down through it, bounced right back up again, pulled down through it, bounced up, and today we broke down through it pretty hard. So right now that's broken, and so that means that becomes a support level, a resistance level on the way up. But right now the SPY is trading right at the 100. I'm really not excited about getting into any swing trades right now off of this stuff. We are in CLS, which is actually looking really nicely on the daily chart. It's actually up today with this market. We're in Roblex too, which is pulling back, but right to the 8. And again, it's been holding that 8 and 15, so I'm going to watch it for a bit. And the only other thing we're in is FI, which is a dead duck. This thing is dead as a doornail. So we can't. I thought this was an oversold condition when they announced that the CEO was leaving to go with the Social Security Administration. I bought some more at 100. I sold those off for a tiny gain, but I'm holding the original ones because they're not worth anything. And that's all we got for swing zone right now. I'm basically using the SPY super system on daily charts, and I did take a lot out today on STZ. I can also draw an algo from 1216 down. It's been holding. Okay, thank you. On the SPY. Yeah, it has been. Yeah, I see that. That's by Algo. It's pretty far away from it right now. This Algo, by the way, on the SPY, this is the one that Shai's talking about right here. And then there's get this one here, which goes back here fairly far. That's comes up to here, which is this. We just broke through this today. So this is a wedge we broke through to the downside. So it's very difficult not to be bearish right now in the market. Apple breaking down. Alessandro. Yep, right to the 100, right near the 100-day, right near the 100-day moving average. Again, SPY drifting down here. Apple, as you pointed out, breaking down. It's right at Apple's right at the 100-day moving average. So you got to see a breakdown below that before I would touch it. I'm going to look for some stocks here, see if I can find any potential short swings that we can take in this market, assuming that the SPY stays below the 100-day moving average today. Pretty small candles though, very small candles. Watching MSTR, it needs to break down quite a bit here for me to get out of this thing without taking a big loss on it. I'm down about $8 a contract on it right now. The thing moves an awful lot. I needed to get down. I got 340 puts on this thing. It's trading at 325, about 326. So I got about $14 of intrinsic value in those puts. So I needed to move down. It just jumped down a little bit right now, but down to around on MSTR. I've got around 317 as a support level on it. So anything down below there, below about 320 right now, would give me a profit on the trade. Watching Delta Airlines, like to see this thing pull back. It's just come flat as a pancake here right now. CLS moved up nicely, pulled back a little bit, starting to bounce. Still up about 0.3% today in this horrible market. Again, I did take profits in NVIDIA straddle today. STZ flushing down some more. Could have stayed in those things for a bit longer, I guess. But I was happy with about 200+% on the trade. Still coming in though. Just put in another pretty ugly candle right here. That was a nice call up by Ari this morning. That's the one I converted into a lotto. I thought that was the best way to trade it, and it worked out beautifully. Still up. Now it's up even more. Trading at those options are now trading at $2.62. Of course, they're in the money, so they're just going to keep on going up as the stock moves down. Little SPY candles here, very small. Again, I haven't taken anything else now since up here. I took that SPY put there. Took it this morning as well, right here. And had two decent trades. I mean, about $75 a contract on the SPY Super System trades today. STZ was a beautiful lotto. Not something I trade all the time, but STZ was a beautiful lotto. I recalled that one out. Just a beautiful trade to get in cheap, or in case it moved down. Again, you don't do these very often, but this seemed like a really good setup. When I took it at around 193, around in here, and I took a 190 put for $38 a contract. Get out half of them at $80 a contract. I got out some more at $1.15 or 18, and then took the last batch off, I think, at about $18.20, something like that. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Very, very nice. Again, don't do these a lot, just on a Friday sometimes, and wasn't too much else I could do at the moment, actually, other than that. Because again, we're in CLS long. It's holding up very nicely. I got a sell order on CLS here at 950. We get in at 820 on that yesterday. Don't have a lot of trades on, purposely, because of the market. The market has been, it's just been a horrible trading environment for the last couple of weeks. Not good for taking swing trades. So I'm trying to focus on SPY Super System trades and a few other stocks intraday, to try to pull some money out of the market. MSTR coming back down again now. I need this thing to continue to come down on that straddle. It's a triangle, actually. Carl pointing out the SPY breached the low of the day. Yep, right there, breaking down below it. Definitely a short today. I got to try to pick it up at the 15 though. Could have taken it here. I didn't. I've taken two trades, but there's been, I'm looking for another opportunity to get in. I'm not going to chase them, but I'm going to wait for another opportunity to get in here. Philip, what's my thoughts on FTAI? FTAI, Aviation Limited. All right, I'm not familiar with the stock. Let me look at the daily chart on it. Poof. That's kind of going a little parabolic here right now. Leasing company, big gap up here, big volume. What's the volume today? Move this out of the way. Average volume in this thing, 1.3 million, pretty good. Volume today, 883,000. Yeah, volume's pretty good. This is, for me, this is a breakout, right? You can see the line here off the top of the candle right here. So it's definitely breaking out. But I'm just not going to chase anything this strong. That's a parabolic move. May keep going. It may keep going, but I get too much downside risk. Where do I set my stop? You could theoretically get in here and set your stop right here at this level right here, 177.18. That way, if it falls below there, you're out because you got too much downside to the 8. But again, to me, the risk reward is probably not worth it for me. It's a nice move, but again, you have to use that 177.18 as a stop level on it today. That would be my opinion. Okay, Gary, I'll tell him about that. I know Sergio has a template now, so um, I'll let Rory know that you asked about him about that, and I'll let he'll ask Rory about it. Sure, I'm sure, and they'll get it to you. Spy with a little pop here. STZ not really taking advantage of that. CLS bouncing up again here. 104.17 is the high on that one. This is that FTAI that Philip was talking about. Again, the daily chart's going to look really, really bullish. Well, interestingly, the multi-time frame momentum is still yellow, which is kind of weird, kind of trapping around. But again, I'm not going to chase anything. But 177.17, I think, is the breakout level. If you trade it, that would have to be your stop down below there. Gary, by the way, as far as the templates are concerned, um, I told Rory he's gonna take care of it for you. But you're not going to get them. They're not going to put the templates in Discord. It's because the thing is the templates are for folks who have purchased the Compass system or the Spy Super system, and not everybody in Discord's done that. So they're not gonna post templates out there. There's a Spy. The last couple of weeks, as I'm saying, this is a mess, a complete mess. There's a little bounce in it this morning, right now. Spy bouncing back up. Just getting slightly above the 15 with the VWAP right above in a dynamic compression zone. We're in no man's land here, as far as I'm concerned. CLS near the daily high. MSTR, I'm using this. This is bouncing again. This thing needs to pull down for me, or I'm going to take a hit on this thing. About 11:45 right now. And again, weak day in the market. Very weak. Gap down. Pretty bearish. Spy got down below the 100-day moving average, and it's really pretty close to it right now. 580.56, 580.56. So basically, for all intents and purposes, it's right on the 100-day moving average right now. Again, here for anybody that's in the YouTube looking at this. This is our SPY super system, or used to be called the compass system. This is our current time frame momentum. This is the one we use for our SPY super system trades, which is trading on the SPYs, the Qs, and the Russell, the IWM, off of a 5-minute chart. We use this level, and then we use the VWAP and this 15 EMA, and that's what gives us the entries and exits on that. We also obviously have to take the context of the market into consideration of what it's doing so far. This is multi-time frame momentum. This is long-term trend, and this is what we use to determine if the institutions are in the trade and whether we should be in them or not. Again, we are in CLS long from yesterday. Terrible market, but CLS is holding up pretty nicely here. We get in for 820, trying to get out for about 950 right here. I'm not sure what it's trading at. Let me look. CLS trading at 865 right now. 865. Probably a fairly big spread. Yeah, not really. 830 by 880. Market really, we've gotten pretty choppy here. Again, 50-day moving average, 100-day moving average offering resistance right now. $580.55 is a 100-day. Right about there. Right around the 15 EMA actually. Dimitri, as far as the time spreads are concerned, my thoughts on buying earning spreads in a 3-prong range, in the money, plus or minus, strike in tandem. I've never tried that. I mean, I can't. I don't know whether it would work or not, or whether you would adding to your advantage or taking away from your advantage. I don't know, because I've not. I can't comment on whether that would work or not because I've never done them. And I mean, there's a lot of you're talking about a lot of variables in there when you're talking about what the expected move is, how much it's moving, what's the strike prices, how much volatility is in the strike prices. Is there any difference between the different strikes? Is there any difference of volatility? I just stick with the at the monies. I would have to run a whole sample of tests on those to see if it was going to work, and it would be fairly complicated to do. Joseph, you're holding puts in UPS off of the bear flag. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty nice. You know, the UPS, if we look at the daily chart, this is, at least I'll give you my views on this technically. All right. Bearish, obviously. I mean, this is a bear flag. You can see the big volume here. But it's been chopping around. This is the entrance to this bear flag, and it comes down, it comes back up. Never really got back up above the 15 again. And right now it's below the 15, below the 8. It's come down below both of them today. The 8's still white, which means it's slightly bullish, but it's only because of this little gap up here, this little move up here, and it's coming down. And there's the line right there. So again, you've got it's been down here a couple of times, down around 122 or so, but that's definitely a nice short setup right there. Whether it'll hold in this market, I don't have any idea. I mean, this thing has been you see this very, very bearish, but it's all over the place. We can compare it to FedEx. This FedEx, which looks really very similar. Also breaking down here, but again, it gets a couple of support levels below. SPY just moving back and forth here. So again, SPY's gotten pretty choppy here after this nice pull down this morning. Big gap down, nice drift down. But now it's been chopping around the VWAP quite a bit, gotten away from the VWAP, and now it's just chopping around the 15. And again, you see how it's gone blue? I'm not touching anything here long right now. EIX continuing down, weekday yesterday, continuing down today. It's a pretty good short. It was a good short yesterday. This is in regards to the fires in California. It's Edison International Utilities. Getting a little extended right now. Fold, breaking down hard here. Amicus Therapeutics. It's a pretty good breakdown and fold. See what I can find for any support on this thing. I gotta go back a long way. Baidu coming down today. 77.84 is the support level. It's at 77.88 right now. Baba coming down as well. Okay, I'm just kind of watching here, taking a couple of SPY Super System trades. Took a beautiful lottery on STZ today. That's still coming down. That would have been even more in profits right now. one of the things having this oscillator on here helps you with is you can see that it's gone blue here, but look where it is. It's just barely above 20. It's blue because it's sloping up, but that's a really weak slope. So this is not all blues are created equally. See this blue here? You see how the slope is steeper? See how this slope is really flat here? That doesn't give me much confidence, which neither does the price action here. So that's one thing to keep in mind on those color changes. I'm not going to trade against it, but I'm not going to take it short here. But I certainly wouldn't be considering long if it bounces up either. Q is looking very similar to the SPY, so is the IWM. Let's take a look at the T2104. I haven't looked at the cumulative volume index today. Pretty bearish. Pretty bearish. Not. We had a couple of chops on this thing. It's pretty much just moving with the market. SPY coming in. Can't trade it short here with the momentum indicator giving me still showing a bluish. I mean, this is really pretty flat. This could easily slide right back down to yellow again in an instant, but I'm not going to chase it here. Just going to wait. There's Delta Airlines. Gap up, just moving sideways off of earnings. American Airlines moved up with Delta off of their earnings.
Numbers being posted in the news desk is a look at the Wyse report, the World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates.
Walgreens with a nice move today. Pull back, but starting to bounce a little bit. CVX, that's an energy stock. Up, pulled up, came back, moved back, bouncing back up again right now. This PZZA, this has been a pretty good short. Staying below the VWAP. Alright, so see what I can find for stocks here. Anything swing trade, I'll be looking to take some shorts, some puts on something. But again, I want to see what the SPY does with this 100-day moving average. It's below it here right now. 580.54. So about $1.30 below it. But this is pretty choppy action right now. SPY still is bearish here. Momentum is still bullish, but bullish only to the level that is above the 20, and it's sloping up slightly. It's really very, very flat. So again, I can't trade against this, but this is still, but it's a decent, price-wise, this is a decent short setup right here. And I expect this will probably flip the yellow pretty quick.
NFE New Fortress March 18 call activity on the offer expired March 21st. NFE New Fortress Energy.
Alright, looking IOVA dropped on because of a death in a trial. So, and biotech down really hard here. Cheap stock. 641 is trading at 638 is a support level. Might be worth getting into when it hits its nadir and starts spinning back up again. Yeah, very cheap, and you know, picking the bottoms is not easy. Very difficult. I know you're taking it off of the fundamentals of the stock, so that's a different story. But technically, it's very difficult to try to pick a bottom. You got to have some confirmation of the bounce. The SPY went to yellow, but still well below the 15 here. STZ still heading down here. CLS doing okay, holding up really nicely. This MSTR has been a real thorn in my side, this straddle I've got on this thing. Trading conditions getting a little bit more difficult after that nice move down this morning, but still a bearish market here. Again, not taking any SPY super system trades right now until we get a bounce back up to the 15 or the VWAP. Especially probably the 15 most likely. Triple Q's doing the same. It's a little bit closer to the 15. IWM also weak today. So we've got the three indexes. We got the SPY down 1.82%, almost 2% drop in the SPY. Triple Q's down 2%, a little over. and the IWM down almost 3%. But the IWM is right at the 200-day moving average right now, so I'm not going to touch that one. My preference probably would be to take the SPY or the Qs. I like the SPY a little bit better as far as support resistance levels are concerned. Joe, you'd like to get the gap fill in the SPY to look at some longs later next week. Yeah, it would be nice. We'll see what happens. Again, it's below the 100-day moving average, and that gap fill is right around 575, I think. Yeah, about 575.83 is a gap fill. About 12:10. I'm trying to take lunch in the next 10 or 15 minutes. STZ still drifting down. Candles are getting smaller. That was a very big win for me today on the STZ, a lottery trade. Again, I don't take these very often. Ari pointed it out today. The setup was nice. The option prices were really good. STZ was down a lot today. I bought it at about the 190 puts when it was trading at about 193, 192.80, and look where it is now. It's down to 186. I'm out. If I'd stayed in, would have made a lot more money. But again, I was up about 250% on the trade when I finally closed it all out. Here's Ruthie. All done?
I'm done with that, yeah. I don't like these. I'm gonna throw them away unless you like
No,
them.
I haven't touched them. I get leftover stuff around here.
Yeah, here are my goods.
No rain yet, but it looks like it's gonna rain.
No, I know, it's been looking like it all day, but it's pretty cold. Oof. Real bagels don't have that much. These are more like bread.
Oh, boy.
That's why I have to correct them. How's it going? Terrible, huh?
Market just did absolutely crushed.
What's going on?
Way down 2% today. It was fine. Well, the job report came out really good, which is not good. The Fed's not gonna cut rates, and then they're not gonna have to raise them again, because inflation starts to gallop away.
Well, I know Trump can fix that.
Yeah, he's gonna fix it with tariffs, that'll send the prices skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Same thing has happened before.
Yes, hopefully we will.
I don't have very many, I've only got 2 trades out of the room, so that, I told him the reason I'm not taking it.
Guys, take the day off.
No, I got this plenty of day trades to do.
Yeah, good.
Plenty of day trades.
Plenty-o.
We took one today on a S Constellation Brands come in with earnings, it was terrible.
Mhm.
The thing was dropping, it was trading about 193,
Yeah.
193.50. So I took 190 puts on it for today, that's a $3 drop.
Yeah.
I got in at 38 cents, I sold them at $138 a contract.
Okay.
And I should have stayed in, they're at 238 now. They started to bounce up.
Losing my mind. Yep.
Pretty bundled up, the guy. We gotta do a webinar tomorrow.
Mhm.
Didn't know anything about it. They're just promoting it now, so it's not big deal. Out of that.
Not surprised.
It's fine.
Thank you for putting the POs up.
Probably need bringing some more people, because there's gonna be some dropouts after today. I'm in the 80s though, I think, right now. I'm gonna get lunch in just a bit. Alright, and I'm just watching here right now. Watching the SPY. Notice we're getting some color changes back and forth. We're just chopping around here. You can see this oscillator just chopping around. So nothing here for me to take. Triple Q's pretty much the same. IWM. Right, just watching the SPYs and the Qs, the IWM. I'm really not looking for any kind of swing trades type today. I might try to see if I can find a short to take over the weekend for a swing, because we've got CLS on here and Roblex. Roblex is right now is sitting right on the 8 exponential moving average. CLS is looking pretty decent. CLS looks pretty good on the daily chart. Here's our CLS in position right here. Again, big down day in the market. CLS up nicely. Roblex on a down day in the market. Whoops. It's coming down too, but notice it went right to the 8, and this is a pretty nice uptrend right here. So we'll see if we'll hold on to that one for a bit. And CLS is here, so I'll see if I can find a decent short to kind of offset our longs. SPY trying to bounce here now.
To go to this so I went to the bathroom. And opening the door.
Allstate taking a beating here today, down about 7%. You know, property and casualty with these fires in California is not going to be good. EAX still coming in. SPY with a little bounce here. Right up to the 15. Again, this is just very, very choppy action. I'm not touching any of this stuff. Looking at ALL. Nice short for ALL here. It's only got monthly options. $5 spread in them. 185 puts are going for about 850, about 870 right now. 185 puts. So they have decent amount of intrinsic value in those things if it continues down for Allstate ALL. I took a small position in it. Again, I'm not going to post it. I don't want to hold this one. It's too far away from the 8 on the daily chart. This is too big a pull down, but it is below the 200-day moving average.
On that LEGN more color, talk being mentioned, on that M&A blog,
Again, I took some puts in ALL for next week. I'm just going to try to trade them, intraday trade them if I can. Again, I took the 185 puts. I paid I think I paid $8.50 for them. Let's look. Yeah, $8.50 I paid for $8.50 for them right now, and they're trading at $8.50 by $8.90 right now. So I'm just likely going to just day trade this thing. STZ starting to drift back down again. SPY really, really choppy here. It's back up above the 15 but below the VWAP. This is no man's trading zone line. No man's land trading here right now. You don't want to be I don't want to be trading the SPY. I don't know which way it's going to go. Get the VWAP above. He's still down below the 100-day moving average. Just not good to be trading those right now. Again, market context is really important. The criteria here is if it breaks above the 15 with a blue candle, you go long. But you got to look at the market. What's the market been doing? It's bearish. That means you're counter trend trading, which is okay if you've got some room. But you don't have much room here. You've got a VWAP right there. So again, you don't take them in those kind of conditions. At least you shouldn't be taking them in those kind of conditions. Again, I'm in ALL short with some puts. All right, gonna look at see if we get any questions. I'm gonna take some lunch. Get something to eat here. Looking at PDS on ALL 180, 170. Yeah, for next week. Yeah, that's pretty good. 350 night for $10. Yeah, 3 to 1. That's good. That's a good price on that. Again, I just took some straight puts that I'm planning on actually getting out of today. I have a support level at 176.06 on ALL. Again, I'm writing the ALL down, see if I can get some profits in it. My AMSTR is very disappointing. Trading at 330, it's just $10 in the money. I need this thing to pull down, you know, another $15 or something today, and it's not performing very well. Tiny candles for a stock that usually trades an ATR of about 30. Right now, today, it's got an ATR of way less than 30. It's got a low of 317 and a high of 330, 13 points. SPY creeping up. Not interested in going long here. The VWAP right up there. Triple Q is doing the same thing. So I get a little bit of a bounce here in the market. How's ALL performing? No bounce. This is what you want to see. Is ALL has good relative weakness. It's right here on the relative weakness chart here with cascading down. This is a pretty nice short. STZ still coming in down to about under 185 now. Could have stayed in those STZ puts and they'd be ridiculously priced right now because again I got in for 38 cents this morning on those on the STZs. They're now $5.10. $5.10. Again, I took them off at about $1.20, so I was happy with a 250% gain, but I would have been much happy with about a 1,200% gain. But I am in ALL 850. They're trading at about $9 right now.
Talk of the U.S. Supreme Court appears skeptical of TikTok's bid to block law requiring an app to be sold or shut down.
State tried to bounce, didn't quite make it. SPY can't trade it here. Hey Karen, good day. Hey, I'm gonna be shutting down the YouTube here in just a minute. I'm gonna get something to eat, so been trading some SPY, couple of SPY Super System trades today. I made nice about $75 a contract in my SPY Super System trades. I took STZ today for a lotto, which was out of the money puts, and I got out for about 220%. Right now they're up about 1,200% if I stayed in them, but I didn't. Nice move in there. And now I'm also in Allstate with puts expiring next week. The 185 puts expiring next week, so I'm going to try to take off today. William, you kept your lotto in STZ, bought 25 contracts. Good grief. Yeah, good grief is right. Unbelievable. I had lots and lots of contracts in there, but I peeled them off. I didn't stay in them. I added some. I took some more 185 puts as well for 50 cents, which are pretty nicely too. But you're in the mantra of the day right there. If you got them in at close to the same price I got them at 38 cents on the STZs. They're trading right now at 5.45. They're up $5.07 at a 38 cents entry. I can't even calculate how big a gain that is, but it's pretty astronomical. So if you got 25 contracts, you're up a lot. Nice trade. Ari, one of your biotech investments, LEGN, has rumors of a buyout. Yeah, I just heard that on the news feed. LEGN was on an M&A blog. Shot up to $38, back down to 36 right now. Moved up for about 31.50 this morning. Been very bearish, that stock. The price action been very bearish. Allstate still drifting down. STZ trying to bounce a little bit here. a sell order on my Allstate at $10.50. I paid $8.50 for it. I just put a sell order in to take it off at $10.50. SPY bounced right upward to the VWAP. Okay, I'm gonna grab some lunch here, and I'll be back after lunch in just a little bit. I want to thank all the YouTube folks for being here today. Appreciate it. And back again on Monday between about 11 and 11:15. Try to start. That depends on how busy it is in the room at the time. Again, appreciate you folks being here, and look forward to seeing some folks back in here on Monday.